Gigi. There she is. Wonderful. Here we go. I think I'm getting very, very excited. Hi, Gigi. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm sorry if you had to watch that ramble for like 10 minutes.
I was hoping you would sing. I was with your family.
I would have been happy to. I honestly, usually I do. It's just the guitar's over there, and I can sing right now if you like. That wasn't really singing. Gigi, so nice to meet you. Thank you for your patience. I was gonna keep talking about you, but I didn't want to say anything that was like depriving you of really getting to speak for yourself. But what I was reading off the sort of mission statement of the LCF. So I'm going to read this and tell our followers what the LCF is in so many words, and maybe you could put it in your own words. But the Latino Community Fund supports Latino serving nonprofit organizations in Georgia with advocacy, program development, technical assistance, and grant making. And your mission is to be a catalyst for investment, collaboration, collaborative work, and positive narrative with the Latinx and Hispanic community in Georgia. And you are the executive director of this, yes?
Yes, that's
wonderful. Correct. Is there anything that we left out, or anything that we should mention to the people who are watching this?
No, I think you said it correctly. I think that the best way to translate the work that we do is that we want accurate and fair representation. We want dignity. We want a voice. And we want to make sure that people know that they belong in Georgia, because Georgia is a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multilingual, wonderful place that should welcome everybody that has made Georgia its home, like me.
And so what is the work that you guys have been doing during the runoff elections? What's the work on the ground like? Today I was canvassing, going from door to door. It's not the most glamorous work. It's a lot of fun, but it's you've been at this for a while. I'm Mr. Hollywood, flying in at the last minute, trying to make whatever difference I can, but you've been really at this for a considerable amount of time. So what has the day-to-day been for you guys to really kind of push this through to the Senate?
Yes, I saw that you were in Cobb County.
Yeah.
For supporting that. So we really never stopped working, actually, since 2018, election, preparing for census, census all 2019, getting ready for 2020 when we thought census was going to be critical, census, primary election, general election, and then runoffs. And so since the general election, we have reached over 15,000 Latinx, Hispanic folks, with information, literature, in person, canvassing, doing literature drops. We have a wonderful team of educators as well as volunteers that have been out every weekend. In 4 or 5 different counties. We have sent mailers, bilingual mailers in English and Spanish, to over 460,000 homes where at least one Hispanic Latinx voter lives. We have texted over 500,000 voters, not only voters that identify as Hispanic in the voter rolls, but also those that have a last name, because we know that there are some issues with data, right? We are a relatively new community in Georgia. For example, my husband is Puerto Rican, but in the voting rolls, he shows up as Black, but his last name is Rodriguez. He is not Black. So we want to make sure that we don't leave a stone, unturned. We have sent mailers to everybody, and we have been organizing digitally. We have a number of organizations join us as partners, local, national, fraternities, sororities. So we're doing everything that we can to make sure that people show up.
So there are a lot of folks that are on this right now from all over the world, as Instagram is an international body of exactly, everybody's included, kind of like Georgia, I guess, or how Georgia should be at its best. So for the case for a lot of people who are watching from other countries, people who are not necessarily a part of the American Hispanic or Latinx community, I think there's a lot of people who are wondering what exactly is going on with Georgia. Why is this so important? Why am I talking about it? Why are people talking about where Georgia stands? What is the runoffs, and why is this so important for people to get the vote out? And once we get that answer, I'm going to ask a follow-up question to hopefully get some of the people watching involved and see how they can help. But if you can put in your own words, explain to these folks what's going on here in the States.
Sure. So, the government in the U.S., basically, it's a government of checks and balances. We have the executive branch and, President-elect Biden, of course, was elected in the general election. We have the Supreme Court, the judiciary, and then we have the legislative side. And so for a law, a bill, an idea to become a bill, and then to actually be signed into law, we need the Chamber of the Representatives and the senators to actually approve those, right? To pass through those chambers. And so what we are deciding and why this election is so critical is because for the first time, well, I don't know if for the first time, but historically, the 2 seats for the 2 senators that represent Georgia are on the ballot. And it's these 2 Senate seats that are actually going to define the balance on the Senate. And so we have an opportunity to literally only the people in Georgia define and decide for the rest of the country for at least the 2 years what type of Senate it's going to be available for President Biden to pass or block or rethink bills and eventually decide on policies that are going to affect millions and millions and millions of people, voters and not voters, because policies affect all of us.
Mm-hmm. Now, so I guess, again, because I'm seeing an overwhelming amount of people who are checking in from around the world, which is very, very sweet. I appreciate their enthusiasm. They're obviously not American voters. And so for the people who are hopefully from Georgia who are watching this, or just outside of the state of Georgia in the United States, what are the kind of things that they can do? Whether it's, well, first of all, I'll start with things that I'll tell those folks. I mean, if you have family in the United States, or if you have family in Georgia, particularly perhaps you have some Hispanic or Latinx background and you have family who are in the state of Georgia, I would recommend, give them a call, like let them know that, ask them if they've made a voting plan. Have they already, have they voted early already? Are they planning to go to the ballots? Do they have an absentee ballot? There's a lot of information about, ensuring that their vote counts online and otherwise that you really kind of want to poke and make sure people are doing, because unfortunately for a lot of communities, especially it's a generational thing, a lot of we're kind of guilty of this too. We're the margin of victory. The Asian American, South Asian American, Black, Brown, a lot of Latino voters. There's a lot of people whose votes haven't been counted through a variety of circumstances. Some more nefarious than others, but one of those things is it's full of families that just don't vote and are not familiar with the process of voting and just haven't done it. And what's happening right now is there's an unprecedented interest from all generations in voting. This certainly is probably, I think in my lifetime, probably one of the most important Senate runoff elections that had such a huge margin of change. So if you're outside of the country, you can still kind of make small waves to hopefully encourage people who are in a position to vote and swing the Senate to vote. Phone banking is an option. Calling people and making sure that they have a plan. I don't know. Am I forgetting anything, Gigi? It's strange because a lot of people are from outside of the country, and I actually don't have an answer for them how they can be helpful. I don't know. Do you have any words of wisdom?
I think their friends, their, primos, cousin, everybody that they know that they are in Georgia, that they have a voice, and they have a voice and a vote that's going to impact millions and millions of people. And this is their chance. Yeah. I think also remind them, if you have folks that are not comfortable in English, or maybe, need a little help, with reading or whatever it is, and maybe they can't see very well, that people have the right to bring an interpreter or to receive assistance. And it can be anybody, as long as it's not, your union, lead or a candidate. It is your right. Language access is a huge thing in Georgia. Out of 159 counties, we only have 1 county that provides absentee ballots and actual ballots in Spanish or in any other language. So for us, it's really important that people feel welcome, that the voter experience is protected, and that people know that this is their right. And for people that are naturalized citizens like me, that are immigrants, to remember that you don't have to be born in the US, you don't have to be born here to belong here. This is our country, and participating in elections, if you can vote, is the way that we protect and support each other, because we have each other's backs. That's what we do, right? To love each other, to support each other. And if you cannot vote, you can still volunteer. You can take care of kids. Maybe you can bring some water to folks. You can call people. You can interpret, right? You can do all kinds of things. You can remind people to vote. You can text people to vote, although everybody's tired and, the text thing. So there's lots of things that people can do.
I was going to ask just really quickly before I let you go. How is it that you said you yourself are an immigrant in the United States? Where and how did you come to the States, and what motivated you to become part of the LCF?
So all my family is in Peru. I came here because I married the right man, citizen.
Nice.
So I was able to naturalize, but for 10 years, I wasn't able to vote. And I was one of those that, policies impacted me. And when I naturalized, it was a long journey for me to own my power as a human being. I am a firm believer that if you have a body, you have a brain, you have a voice, you are a leader. And so stepping into that space and say, I have the power to create the future that I want for me, for my two girls whose, drawings you'll see here. That's my job. And that is all of our jobs. So I am actually the founder of the organization too, along with 10 people. We got together and committed to create a space where we can facilitate and strengthen the community and work in partnership with folks already working, doing their best to provide for their families, to create opportunities for themselves. So that's the work that we do. And to remind folks that after the election tomorrow, the work only begins, because then we need to keep people accountable that are in office to make sure.
So that's what I was going to sort of leave us on. First of all, I'm seeing a lot of love from Peru, by the way. I'm seeing some Peruvian flags and some people who are, yeah. We see you. We see you guys. I guess as we move forward, hopefully things can go in our favor in the next few days. For those, there's probably a small amount, but if you are from Georgia and you're watching this, or if you're in the United States, what are the steps that we want to take these next couple of days? What are the proactive things that we should be doing to well, I don't know, from your perspective as a grassroots organization, what are the things that we can that young people can be really doing to help push things in the right direction?
Talk to your friends. Talk to your friends, remind them that they have the power. In Georgia, a lot of our voters are from a younger generation. These are folks that have lived in their own bodies, in their own experience, what is not to have a political voice, because their parents were not naturalized and they couldn't vote, right? They have the golden ticket, like Michelle,
yeah.
They have their golden ticket for their families, for their communities. Please do it for you, for your present, for your future, for your reality that you want to create. And also, if you have an absentee ballot and you haven't filled it out, don't send it by mail. Go and use one of the drop-off boxes. They are safe, secure, and make sure your vote counts. And if you don't want to leave it at a drop-off box, go tomorrow to any polling location and hand it over to an electoral worker. Your vote needs to be counted because we all need you.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Gigi, it's so lovely to meet you. You're an inspiration to not only myself, but hopefully some of the folks that have been on here to meet you and hear some words from you. All I can say is thank you for everything, for your time and for your work. And we'll keep our fingers crossed, but that'll only take us so far. We have to be proactive and conscious about our civil duties and the responsibility that we have as not only citizens of the United States, but citizens of the world. And yeah, thank you. What a pleasure. And hopefully I'll be seeing you around masked and safe somewhere out there in the field. All right.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, George.
Take care. Bye-bye.